So welcome back, homies, and to continue the skill tree guides, I figured to make one on Ground Hakuda since a lot of people are genuinely confused on how to exactly use this ground style. It is a bit difficult to learn, but after watching this video and a few practice matches with it, because in my opinion, Ground Hakuda is the most enjoyable skill tree to play with right now, but that might just be me. Getting to the video, starting off with the elements, move sets, and weapons that perfectly pair up with the Ground Hakuda for each race. For my Soul Reapers, I highly recommend Flower. Even with all the nerfs it has gotten, it is still a very good Shikai and pairs nicely into Ground Hakuda to deal a lot of posture, if not guard breaking, allowing for free combos. Suzu pairs very smoothly as well, with the C move having no in-like if you miss it, and even if you do get parried, the stun from the parry doesn't pick up, so you can instantly use the move right after, and it provides a good gap closer if you are unable to proc Dragon Eye. Zangetsu, one of my personal favorites. It is insanely good, has hyper armor moves, and for the gap closer attack, the slashes, it leads nicely into Senpou or Dragon's Descent after that ragdoll, making it so smooth. Berserk, another insanely good element that pairs up with the Ground Hakuda, provides full hyper armor on top of more hyper armor, making this an annoying build to fight against. For my Ronkars, it's a bit different since you only have one partial, but I recommend Pantera C for that easy stun, Shark X for the shark and dive, and then blah 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 to get closer to them, Snake C for that little dash that you can get, Phoenix X, which is a good stun. Moving on to my Quincy's Death Dealing, it is insanely good with Ground Hakuda. Give back and disable flash step and apply dosage for heavy damage, and Give Ball is also useful for range attacks and applies small amounts of lethal dosage for poke damage. It's pretty much like you got Bala. Gluttony, strong overall. The T is a reliable range attack and that steals rate and HP, so that is a big need in this drought because nobody has ray regen at this point. While the G gap closes and ragdolls on hit and it also steals ray and HP, you can lead this into like Senpou or another compass move, whatever combo extends. Superstar, which is one of my personal favorites. The T is a teleport move that's hard to react to if you're like constantly mixing them up and all over the place, and the G is a short range beam that ragdolls and can guard break. Now me personally, I abuse the G so much, it's crazy. Overkill, it is still a good strip even after all the nerfs it's gotten. It still gives you decent buffs to this day, so I highly recommend you guys to try it out. Moving on to all the best weapons for each race. Soul Reapers, Muay Thai manual. The crit is great for Ground Hakuda, and a tip after landing it, follow up with Senpou, Dragon's Descent, or Compass if you have it. It's a great combo extender. Formless manual, now this is decent I guess for grabbing and pulling people in, but overall it's a downgrade for Muay Thai, basically the manual for poor people. So yeah. The Ronkars, Zero Crusher has an insanely low cooldown for no reason, and if it lands you can set up strong combos and stun like crazy. Dummy's Guide works just like Zero Crusher, but is a bit better overall, so I highly recommend Dummy's Guide instead if you have it. If not, you can resort to Zero Crusher. Quincy's, Dummy's Guide for Quincy's is genuinely insane, I'm not gonna lie. It's so fast and annoying to get hit by. You can really fry people if you're all over the place and just randomly use it, and after it lands you can use Gehenna, Dragon's Descent, or a Shadow Impale to just keep it going and annoy them so much. Like, I hate fighting this build. There is another weapon for Quincy's. I'm personally going to gatekeep it because this helped me hit high elo, and it's genuinely just brain dead. So if you find it out, don't say anything, gatekeep it because it is absolutely fucking insane. Moving on to the main build you should be running with Ground Hakuda. If you don't know already, the main build we have is 50 Hakuda with ground style path and 15 speed, just to put it somewhere else. For my pros, it has great combo potential since all the moves chain smoothly and leaving little chance to be parried if used correctly. And also, if you land moves like Senpou or hits from Rising Sun, Dragon Eye becomes a huge advantage since it lets you teleport across the map, like literally. Pairing Dragon Eye with Redirection chains a bunch of M1s, which grants a ton of soul style, which benefits you if you have Raging Demon. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I spam this shit a lot because it is insanely fast for some reason and does a lot of damage. But I didn't say that, you know, don't tell nobody I said that. For my cons, however, Ground Hakuda does very little damage on its own and mainly relies on stun and combos. Without combos, starters, or Dragon Eye procs is basically wraps if you're not good with the skill tree. And on top of that, Ground Hakuda relies heavily on Dragon Eye, which is a big problem since it lacks range moves and most players just run and play passive all the time. Dragon Eye can also bug out, showing the proc without actually working. Unlike Air Hakuda, it isn't just spam, it takes real skill and being able to know which moves you're gonna line up. So don't just put on this skill tree and think you're just gonna spam stuff and win, because you're just not. Moving on to our true combo and normal combos for Ground Hakuda. For my combo, I personally have Senpou into Triple Striker, which you feint on the third hit, and then into Axe Kick, and after Axe Kick, since the parry timing is off, they will most likely get guard broken. So then you can go to Spine Rend into Confliction, which is true after Spine Rend into Gehenna, and since they'll be crippled from Gehenna, I normally use Dragon's Descent. Then once you've marked them, you can easily go into the Dragon Eye Redirection variant, which gives you a ton of soul style, and to finish it off, I use Raging Demon because after that, you know, I've used my crit a couple of times that match, and then I'm pretty sure I should have U style, so I just spam that off top. This combo isn't exactly true, but there are parts within the combo that are true, like Spine Rend into Confliction, for example. You can use your crit anywhere in this combo to confirm other moves as well, but this is my go-to lineup, so try it out if you want. But yeah, now for this next section, it's not exactly a name for this, so the only thing I can really call this is tips and text for Ground Hakuda. Starting off with number 1, Dragon Eye. Dragon Eye is a bit buggy as of right now, and I have no clue when they're going to fix it, so whenever you do proc Dragon Eye, try to use it as soon as you proc it because it does kind of go away, but it still says it's there, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that. Number 2, Gehenna. Try to use Gehenna as much as possible in its long hold variant for maximum damage. Gehenna provides a bunch of stun, and I ain't gonna lie, if paired up with Ground Hakuda, you can go crazy. Number 3, Rising Sun. Avoid landing the third hit of Rising Sun to keep your flow going, because once you end Rising Sun, the end lag gets kind of weird, so right click just before the last hit and then follow up with like Ankle Splitter or another close range attack like Confliction. Sin Pow. When using Sin Pow, aim for their back to reduce the chance of it being blocked. They can still be 360 parry, but if you're moving around constantly and just, messing them up, they will not be able to parry this. They won't see it at all. But the odds of that happening is very rare, as you have to S key and constantly move when fighting Ground Hakuda. So yeah. Number 5, our Essence. I prefer Raging Demon over Crazed Blitz by like a milestone, simply because it's a guaranteed hit, all because it has insane range and is light speed fast for some odd reason. And then after Raging Demon, I use Spine Rend to continue the true stun and chain into like moves like Confliction or something else that's crazy. Raging Demon is absolutely insane. But yeah, that's pretty much it for all I have. I'm not a Ground Hakuda main. I do play it a lot and I'm good with it. So if you guys have any more attacks and tips, put them down below in the comments, because I will be reading them to help out my gameplay and other gameplay as well. So yeah, with that being said, if you did like this video, leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel, because we're trying to hit 50k subs before Type So dies. And yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.